It's no secret that people will buy from you if they like you. Everyone knows that. However, we all have met those people at some stage that we just for the life of us cannot get along with. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about an ancient theory that I was introduced to maybe 10 to 12 years ago, which helped me ascertain my type of personality so that when I'm dealing with other people, I would be able to relate to them better. It was a life-changing point for me, and the reason I've created this podcast is because it's added so much value to me over the years, and I just know the advantages and the benefits that it can offer to everyone. So I hope you enjoy this podcast, and I also encourage you to go check out the blog post for this podcast, because there's a link in there which will enable you to go and do the test, and then from doing that test, you will understand also why you annoy people so much. So enjoy.
Giving tradies and contractors around the globe the tools to run a modern business. You're listening to Toolbox Talks from the Site Shed. Now here's your host, Matt Jones.
Hello and welcome to Toolbox Talks. My name is Matt Jones, and today I am talking to you about a real life scenario that has had a massive positive effect on my life over the years. And I'm telling you this because I'm hoping that it will have a similar effect on my listeners. So what I'm talking about today is really personality types. And a lot of you might be thinking, what the heck has this got to do with business? Well, let me tell you, absolutely everything. So I was introduced to a theory probably close to 12 years ago, which really changed the course of the direction of my life in the sense that it made me realize why I annoyed people so much, basically. Actually, I might even call this podcast that. Ever wondered why you annoy people so much? So the reason that was a turning point in my life was because I really had quite, according to this test that I'm going to talk about in a little bit, I had quite a strong personality type. And when I was communicating to people, I was communicating to people the way that I wanted to be communicated to. And after reading this book, I realized that, that's not how a lot of people want to be communicated with. Most people, people are made up of everyone's different. They're made up of different personality traits, and how you can relate to that person will directly affect, the outcome of that relationship. So if you're in business with them, if you're romantically involved with them, if you're trying to build friendship, if it's your children, if it's school, colleague, university friends, whatever it is, being able to relate to personality types is really paramount in building that relationship. So this podcast is really directed at anybody that's a person, that is. Actually, that's not even true. You will, after listening to this podcast, you'll probably realize that even some of your pets have certain personality traits that you could probably employ some of these strategies and get along better with them with too. So we're talking about a theory which dates right back to it was the ancient Greco-Roman times, and what it basically I suppose the theory was that people are made up of a combination of four main personality types. There's people that are fun-going and happy. There are people that are a little bit more, I suppose, short-tempered and irritable. There's the people that are very analytical, and then there's people that are kind of chilled and just like to go with the flow. Now, all of us are made up of a combination of those personalities. And by understanding what personality you are, you can better understand, it allows you to build relationships with people because you can then ascertain what type of personality another person may have. And then you can kind of tailor the way you're dealing with them according to their personality. I tell you, it's been a life-changing event for me. And it actually came from a book called Personality Plus by a lady called Florence Littauer, Littauer. All these links are going to be in the show notes. You haven't got to worry about spelling it. However, when I was introduced to this book, it was amazing for me because it was almost instantly one of the first things you do in the book is you take this test, and the test tells you what type of personality you are more, like what type of personality you're made up of, and what you have more of or less of. And as soon as I took that test, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Now I understand why I bug the hell out of people so much. Now I know why I just frustrate people. So I really encourage you guys to get out there and go and take this test. So the link is in the show notes. The book is called Personality Plus. And as I said, the reason why I wanted to, I suppose, talk to you about this today is because I know firsthand that it's had a very, very positive and powerful effect for me in my business and in my personal life. And I just wanted to, I suppose, give you guys the opportunity to have a similar experience. So I'll give you an example practically, okay? Which type of person are you? Which would you respond to better as a person? Okay, we're talking at your house. You have a blocked sewer, and it can't be clear. We're going to have to dig it up. That's the only way. There's no other options. We need to dig it up. So, what's going to respond to you better? Okay, this one, mate. Sorry, look, there's no other solution here. We've got to dig this thing up. I'm just going to give it to you straight. We've got to dig it up. There's no other way around it. That's the first type. The second one. Listen, unfortunately, due to the fact that there's a increasing amount of root infiltration into your drainage system, we're going to have to excavate. We're going to have to remove the pipe and replace it with a new one. Here's some video footage to show you what I'm talking about. You can see that the drain is quite blocked up. Here's the third one. Look, I'm really sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to cause you any further grief. However, the drain in your backyard is very badly blocked, and unfortunately, we're unable to clear it with our machinery. So, I just wanted to let you know the only way we can fix it is to dig it up and replace it. And then there's this type of personality. Mate, look, your drain is absolutely shot to pieces. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to roll up my sleeves, get out there in my gumboots, dig it up and replace it. It's the only way it's going to happen. So if that's cool by you, then we'll just get cracking. So that's 4 very different ways of communicating exactly the same message. And those 4 different ways will respond to 4 different people very differently. So by taking this test and understanding who you're dealing with, you're able to tailor the way you talk to people according to how they're likely to respond. Like, these principles are very applicable in all areas of business, but even when you're talking about things like your website, okay? So the language that you use on your website should be general enough to accommodate for the majority of people. If you're really going in hard and analytical with figures and stats and all these kind of things, then you're probably going to deter 75% of people because they're not going to respond to that type of context. However, if you're going in there with a more general approach, then you'll probably find that your engagement will improve as a result. So in scenarios where you're not sure who you're actually speaking to, it's always a good idea to make that content relatively general so that you can appeal to the majority. Once you get to know that person a little bit better, then it makes it a lot easier for you to ascertain, what type of personality they are, what they respond to better, and then you can kind of steer the way that you're communicating with them towards that type of personality. You're not being false in any way whatsoever. You're still being you. However, you're being you in a way that they're going to respond to. And as you just heard in that example before, that was me in every way. Nothing about me changed then. There was no part of any of that was made up. However, I was definitely steering it towards a different type of person. So what I want to do is I basically want to steer you guys back to the website where you can click on that link and go and do the test. And then I encourage you there. I've actually posted in the link also my results. So once you do the test, you'll understand a bit about personalities and you can see in there what my results were. Unfortunately for my fiance, I am still the short-tempered and irritable person that I was 10 years ago. However, things may change because when she took that test, she was the very chilled and relaxed person. And then she has gradually over time become a little bit more short-tempered and irritable. And I would imagine it's probably largely due to the fact that she has to put up with my crap all the time. So personalities do change and they will change, and it's good that they do change. You want to be evolving and you want to be adapting. However, that was pretty much all I wanted to say from this podcast. Go and check it out. It's really, really, it's a fun test. Go and get your family and your friends and your wife or whatever to do it as well. It'll open up a lot of communication barriers for you, I'm sure. And once again, the book is called Personality Plus. It's from a lady called Florence Littauer. If you can't be bothered reading the book, then just go do the test. However, I would encourage you to do both because it is pretty cool. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Look, if you go and do the test and you want to share the results with us, please go ahead. You can either post it on a Facebook page or you can post it in the comments on this blog post. Other than that, we'll be speaking to you in the following podcasts. So if you haven't already, head across to thesiteshed.com and register for our Toolbox Talks, where you'll be regularly sent great episodes just like this straight to your inbox, so you'll never miss one. If you want to join the community, you can head across to thesiteshed.com/members, where for a small monthly fee, you'll get access to regularly updated training material, as well as access to our forum where you can mingle and collaborate with trade-based business owners just like you from all over the world. If you're enjoying this podcast, please head across to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. We greatly appreciate it, and it helps us spread the word and reach the masses. Likewise, if you know anyone that might benefit from the content we create, then please go ahead and share this with them.
You've been listening to Toolbox Talks by The Site Shed. For more great content just like this, head across to thesiteshed.com and join the amazing community of savvy trade-based business owners.